Hello and welcome to Casual Buddhism. I'm Cindy Rossico and I'm with Venerable Dhammananda Piccini. And we're always so grateful to have her here. She is the first fully ordained Theravada Buddhist nun in Thailand. And for those of you who are new, Casual Buddhism is this wonderful kind of casual conversation, informal conversation between the guest and Venerable Dhammananda about any question relevant to their lives, and usually a question relating back to Buddhism. So today I'm going to be the guest, and Venerable, welcome.
And the host.
And the host. All in one.
Yes.
So my question has to do with loneliness. I struggle sometimes with loneliness. I went through a divorce 3 years ago and separated from my partner of 34 years. And I have a lot of friends and a rich support network, but sometimes I get really lonely and kind of miss the companionship and the partnership. And I'm wondering if my loneliness is just a part of human suffering, or if it's a self-preoccupation. Or I'm wondering maybe what the Buddha has to say about loneliness.
You know, in fact, we are all alone. We are all alone from the very beginning. We are so, in a way, with our karma, we are so independent in the sense that we're not connected with anyone. You know, even our loved ones, you know, sometimes we say, oh, I wish to be born with you again and again over so many lives to come. But that does not happen simply because you wish so. You know, when our karma is not at the same level, you end up meeting someone else, but you already had made this, wish to be born with him. So that's why sometimes you have cases of a very daughter of a very rich family ending up getting married to the driver. You know, when the karma is at the same level, but because of this wish that you had made long time ago, so that's what you have ended up, you know, with this kind of thing. So in fact, we are alone. We are alone with our karma. Backing us into this birth. When we were born alone. Even though some of you may say, oh, we are twins, you know, but still, you know, twins have completely separate life. If we realize that our true nature, from the very beginning, we are alone. We are alone. When we realize that, you know, then you are kind of more comfortable with the feeling of being alone. We have always been alone. We have always been alone on this path. You know, we have this partner, we live with this partner, we live with, in my case, I live with my attendant, you know, someone who takes care of me. Not every minute is a happy moment, right? Not every minute is a happy moment. Yet sometimes we have to endure. In order to keep the relationship going on. But so when you are now alone, separated, physically, but sometimes it's not physical. Yes, sometimes it's not physical. It makes things easier to consider that we are alone from the beginning. And the karma will will be behind us to be where we are and to be in the future. Now, with this realization, karma, your action now in the present moment is very important. It's very important for you to be very mindful of the present moment. What do you do so that you are more focused, so that we understand that it is very important to live in this present moment fully. when we start thinking like this, the question of being lonely is suddenly disappear. Suddenly disappear. It's not there. It's not there. So, when you are more focused with your presence in this now, in this present moment, fully, when we practice this mindfulness, the mind is full now in this present moment. So when the mind is full in this present moment, the question about being lonely is somehow disappeared. Somehow disappeared, So come back to your breathing, come back to your breath when you feel lonely, and then start meditating, start focusing in this way. I think it helps. It helps. It does. It helped in my case. I always come back to myself, come back to my breathing, and we try to be fully in the present, to realize our existence, to be. Yes.
Thank you. And do people come to your temple sometimes to talk about this issue, or is this more a question you get from Western practitioners?
About being loneliness, about being lonely. Yes, even Thai people also ask. Sometimes, sometimes when we cannot help them to come up to that level of being mindful, sometimes I suggest that they do different things. That is, how to say, shifting the mind so that you have something to be interested. You go in the garden, look at the flowers, look at the trees, look at different things. If you like handicraft, you do handicraft this way, that way. You search in YouTube, there's so many hundred things for you to learn. So becoming aware of what's happening in the world. For those who do not practice meditation very much, I would suggest at this level. But for those who already started practicing meditation, this mindfulness is the key to overcome loneliness.
So it is in a sense, maybe what I call a self-preoccupation that takes us a little bit out of the present. That's what I hear you saying. That it's not.
Yes. Even though for those people, even though they have their married life, they have their husbands, they have their children with them, this loneliness can still be there.
Yes.
You suddenly you feel so lonely in this big, huge mansion, surrounded by husband, children, servants, you still could feel lonely.
Right.
Isn't that interesting? So when you come back to your breathing, come back to this mindfulness, it really helps you to not to be preoccupied with 101 things, but come back to this fresh existence.
Thank you. And have there ever been times in your life where you felt lonely, or that you can recall, maybe when you were first ordained or as abbess of your temple?
After my ordination, I think I have been lucky that there is no time yet to feel lonely. But there was a time in my life when what I call when I faced midlife crisis. I can talk about this, when things already happen. Suddenly, I have 3 sons. My husband was still there with me. And suddenly I had this period of feeling very lonely. Very lonely. It eats you up, it eats you up from inside. That sad, feeling lonely. You go to work just like the frame of existence walking, without the spirit inside. It continued on for about 6 months, and I truly suffered. When I eat, I just eat, not realizing that I was eating what. It's so difficult. I went to meditation, but at the time sitting with meditation, I was doing nothing but weeping. But nobody knew, of course. I myself realized that there must be something really very not going right for me. What I did, I started sketching. I just hide myself in the corner of the room, and there was this drawing, sketching away. And then my children would come in they're kind of concerned, that I was not going out playing with them. What are you doing, Mom? They just peep over my shoulder. So I explained to them, this is what. Oh, they like it, so they come and visit often to see the progress of my drawing, the progress of my sketching. Then my husband came and he asked what I was doing. Again, I explained to him just like the way I explained to the children. He said, oh, good, you should write down. He just said very simply. So that became what you call Prajajakpap, philosophy through sketches, through drawing. That's my book. My book is on this one page, you have the drawing, the line drawing, and on this one, another page, opposite page, I explain what I drew on this page. It continued on for some time, so that's why I had enough material to make a book. So I published the book. And it became top 10, top 10, and it was printed and reprinted many times. When you have something productive, it kind of nourish you. And that was how I came through my midlife crisis. I happened to talk to a psychiatrist in New York, and he listened to me, listened to my story, and he said, oh, how lucky that you can overcome your midlife crisis by yourself. Then I realized, that's what you call midlife crisis. I didn't realize that. Yes, the lonely was the key word, through that suffering. But that was more worldly kind of solving the problem. But when you already get into meditation, this coming back to your breathing, this mindfulness, it really helps.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the conversation tonight. And I appreciate all that you speak and share. And I just want to encourage people, if you would like to be a guest, you too can speak with Venerable, share in a conversation. Contact me via my website, cindyrossico.com, or on Facebook, cindy.rossico.author. And I would say this is such a pleasure for me to be the guest tonight. So thank you for that opportunity. I really appreciated hearing from you. Sadhu. Please join us again next week on our next episode of Casual Buddhism. Thank you.